everyone has change. You can find change anywhere. And so change at one time was like a legitimate form of currency. Hey, I bought a sandwich for 25 cents back in 1920 is what some people would say. But today, that sandwich may cost 10 bucks. So it's different. What's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to talk to you guys about inflation. What do I mean by that? The economic term? Maybe. But what I'm specifically talking about is our inflation of things today. How we live in such a hyper culture. We live in such a hype culture where everything is hyped up to the max. In economics, the term inflation basically comes from the idea that some items may be worth a certain value, right? And over time, people start making more money. Everybody is making more money. Everyone has change. You can find change anywhere. And so change at one time was like a legitimate form of currency. Hey, I bought a sandwich for 25 cents back in 1920 is what some people would say. But today, that sandwich may cost 10 bucks. So it's different. When everyone has the same amount of money to pay for things start getting more expensive. It's called inflation. And so there have been some countries like, I think the country of Zimbabwe made the mistake years ago of saying, oh, well, we'll just print more money. And what that does is it creates inflation. They printed more money for everybody, and then everybody had hundreds of thousands of dollars of Zimbabwe money. Because everybody had it, it was pretty much worthless. Everyone has $100,000. So the person who's selling something is like, I have $100,000, that's not a big deal. You're gonna have to give me more than that. So everything keeps going up and up and up and up and up until it just became worthless. You could have $1 million Zimbabwe dollars and it wouldn't be worth $10 in the United States because the inflation kept going up. And so in economics, countries and the world really keeps a close eye on inflation. And over time, things will get inflated. Money will go up. The value of money will go down and back and forth here and there. But they do keep an eye on it because they realize that it is a problem if it gets out of hand. And what that makes me think about is today we live in an inflated culture when it comes to social media, especially when it comes to just how we interact with sports, how we interact with just regular life. And it's gotten to a point where it's like everything is inflated. I'll give you an example. When you hear the term greatest of all time, what does that mean? When you look up in the dictionary, greatest, the best. When you say of all time, that means there's one greatest of all time in a certain category. Today we throw around GOAT as if it just means, oh, this guy's pretty good, that woman's pretty good, this person's pretty good. And it's been inflated to the extent to where it doesn't even mean what it meant anymore. It's not valuable anymore. Someone could say, oh man, this person's the GOAT. You don't even know who they are. If someone is literally the GOAT, you need to know who they are. And that's just an example just to say how hyped we've gotten and how loose with our words we've gotten. And so how can you apply that to your life? How can I apply that to my life? Simple. When we aren't where we want to be, don't pretend like you're further along than you really are. Kind of goes back to my fool's gold analogy. Don't pretend that you bring more value than you really do. Don't pretend and trick yourself into thinking, I'm way further along than I really am. Living outside of your means, trying to keep up with everybody else of what everyone else says is this or that or great or amazing. Because you got to realize they're speaking with an inflated verbiage. So when somebody says the GOAT, the this, the that, if you're the GOAT, you've overcome everything you really need to overcome to get to where you need to be. And you really believe that and you really think GOAT means what it meant 10, 20 years ago, you're in for a world of trouble. because you're going to assume that you're somewhere where you're really not. So just remember that when you're speaking to people today in the world and on social media, just make sure that you put the verbiage through a filter in your mind that reminds yourself to say, okay, what this person's saying is inflated speech. What they really mean is this. Especially when it comes to you. You're never as bad as they say you are, but you're also never as good as they say you are either. Balance is always somewhere in the middle. So just remember that next time you think about calling someone or yourself the GOAT. Thanks again for checking out this video. Make sure to share, like, and subscribe. Go to the Instagram page. Link is in the description below. And if you like this shirt, get one for yourself. Link is in the description below as well. We've got different colors, different sizes for men and women. Have a great day.